Okay, this Sunday we have Jesus, after his baptism, is driven by the Holy Spirit out into the desert, where the devil tempts him. He fasts for 40 days, and the devil tempts him. I want you to notice the three things that the devil tempts him towards. The devil tempts him toward food, power, glory. The first temptation, you're hungry. You've been fasting in the desert for 40 days. Take these stones and make them into bread. The second temptation takes him up to see all of the kingdoms of the earth and says, if you just worship me, I'll give you all this power. And the third temptation, throw yourself down from the parapet of the temple. The angels of God will catch you. Glory. Right? I mean, who doesn't want to be the center of that scene? The angels of God descending from heaven and grabbing you and holding you up for all to see and to worship and to acclaim. Food, power, glory. These are the ways that the devil tempts us. He tempts us through our body, through pleasure, through food, through sex, through drink, through entertainment. He tempts us to fill ourselves up with all of this spiritual junk food. Sometimes literally junk food, but to fill us up with all this stuff that just makes our spirit ache and sick. Not because those things are bad, but because we're receiving them in a disordered way. We're putting them out of place. It's like eating nothing but candy all day and expecting to be able to run a marathon the next day. No, you just feel gross and sickly, right? It's illness. To overindulge in pleasure is illness. But the devil tempts us. It'll satisfy you, right? The pleasures of the world will satisfy you. He tempts us with power, right? He wants us to make deals with him. And perhaps many people in power have made deals with the devil. Remember, the world is under the devil's domain. He's the one that kind of has power. And he tempts us to take part of that power if we worship him. And brothers and sisters, we are too often guilty of worshiping him because we worship his power. We worship his power because that is where we spend our time, to grab hold of influence, to grab hold of popularity, to grab hold of political, financial, business power. We want to control the world around us. And he uses that desire to destroy us from the inside. We can never obtain ultimate power. And even those who get close to it, they always lose it. The higher they rise, the harder they fall. And the devil uses that to destroy us, to drive us mad, trying to get us to get to that point. And then when we lose it, we despair and we go into turmoil. Glory. The devil wants us to think of ourselves as gods, beings to be worshipped and looked up to. Right? Beings that rise above the rest of humanity. These are exactly what I hear every day in the confessional, in different degrees and in different forms, that people are tempted into food or pleasure, power, and glory. The three pillars of Lent, prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. Fasting addresses our temptation to indulge into pleasure. Almsgiving, it kind of fixes that whole need for power, because almsgiving is about giving it away. And prayer gives the glory back to the Lord. It puts me last, puts the Lord first. Throughout this Lent, continue to grow in your holiness. You belong to God, not to the world. Grow in your life of prayer by praying, fasting, and giving alms.